Please message me in the chat box so that we can start our session. So yes, very good morning, Cyril. Yes, okay. So everyone are able to listen to me. Okay, so let's start with our day 3 session, or else we'll wait for just 2 minutes more so the other participants will get joined. Okay, so we are here with the day 3 session today. So in this day 3 session, let us revise you with the day 2 session what all we have covered in it. So this was the day 2 session where we completed the overview of the Linux operating system. We have made the installation of the virtual box. We have created there the first virtual machine. After that, after the creation of first virtual machine, which was of 20 GB, we installed the Red Hat iOS on it by downloading the iOS. Hope you have all downloaded the iOS and the virtual box and you have started your installation with that. And we have created our Amazon Web Service account. After that, I have made you to know how to launch the instance, how we can connect to the EC2 Linux machine, creation of the Linux EC2 machine, and how we can connect to our EC2 machine on the cloud platform. Okay, so we have learned about Puttigen, what is its works. We have seen Putty. Okay, so until we had here we had seen. So um, the installation of the virtual box Red Hat OS was until here. It was until here. So we connect. So we installation destination we had provided to it. We made it connectivity with the network and the host. That is, we are connected the our Windows and the virtual box to one another, and we have given the root password. So whenever you give the root password, you have to remember it. But whenever you log in, whenever you are into the OS, it will ask you to the username and the password. And we had also selected the language and the time and the date. So until here we were yesterday. So coming to the day 3 session. So once you are here, you have to start your installation. See, there's an option like begin installation. So you have to click on it. It will take a time of half an hour and more, and we cannot show that installation here because it will save our time also, so that we can cover with our further process. And it is an easy process. Once you install it, you have to boot it with your kernel. You will see two options over there. One will be the kernel mode and another will be the rescue mode. Don't go to the rescue mode, go to the kernel mode. Okay, so once you go to the kernel mode, you will be into your Linux operating system. Okay, and one more thing, remember, at the time of software selection, I have made you to keep it as a server with GUI mode, correct? So it's better now, don't go with GUI. You just select the server, which is in this CLI mode. Okay, so that will be easier for you to understand Linux, and then we can go through the GUI mode. So this was the revisal of the day 2 session, and now we are continuing with the day 3 session. So prior that, I would like to tell you that please, whoever newer to this day 3 session, You can scan your course content over here, and our session will be from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. It will be the 4 weeks of duration. My name is Sonika. I'm a trainer over here. The course fees will be 3,999 INR. And if you have any queries, please you can contact support@logiclabstechnologies.com, or the contact numbers are also provided. You can contact them for your queries. For general information, as of we can say, for any queries, as I mentioned, contact Logic Labs teams. First 3 sessions will be free to the attendees, and from the fourth session, the Zoom meeting link will be shared to the registered participants only, who will be the paid registered. So whatever updates you want, you please join our WhatsApp group, which is mentioned here. I'll also keep the WhatsApp group link on the chat box, which will be viewable to everyone. So whoever the paid members are there, I'll be providing them all these PDFs session wise, how I complete. And at the end of the session, you will be getting the interview question and answers. They are about 80 to 100, where you can easily get expertise with your commands at the end of this session. So this was all about Logic Labs. So, okay. So let's start with our day 3 session. So what all we are going to cover in this day 3 session? So first of all, we are going to see Winscp. Okay. So we have to download. What is Winscp? Winscp is nothing but it enables the communication between the Windows and the Linux host. Okay. So connectivity, like we can share our files, we can copy paste it, and a number of things we are going to see. Okay, and we are going to see the online link, or you can say online browser, where they provide you the practicing enability mode of the Linux commands. Okay, so let's start with the Winscp. So one more thing, you just please install with your OS today, as I guided you in the day 2 session. Okay, so tomorrow, from today only, we'll be starting with our basics of commands. The day 3 is here. We'll be starting with the, we'll be logging to the root user. We'll see all the basics commands. And once we are done with it, if the time remains, we'll be covering the file system and the file system structure. Okay, so anyone has any queries, you can raise your hand, or you can ask me in a chat box also. Okay, hope I have cleared everything to everyone. So coming to our day 3 session, let's start with a Winscp. So Winscp is nothing but, as I told you, it is an connectivity mode where we can connect. We can make a file sharing in between the Windows platform and the Linux platform. So let's type Win in a browser, Winscp for Windows. Okay. So see, official site, download Winscp. So coming here, scroll down, you will get the download link. See, download Winscp. It is of 11 MB. It will take much more time. It will not take. We'll download it. We'll install it. The setup is downloaded, and we are installing the Winscp setup. So we have to run it. On my system, it is already installed. So it might show. Okay, yes. Accept. Next, install. So finish it. Close it. So see, this is Winscp. Okay. So what Winscp, how we have connected to one another, to the Windows host and the Linux host. See, file protocol here we have to keep as SFTP only, no issues. Host name it is asking. So where we have installed our Winscp, we have installed in the Windows. So automatically it has taken as a host name to which we are going to link. We have to provide the host name or the IP address of that Linux operating system. So let's go to our Linux OS. See, once you come to the virtual box, here you will see your Red Hat running. I have already powered on my machine, Red Hat machine. So here you will get the settings option. Okay. So once you come here into setting option, you have to go to networks. Okay. Once you'll come here to network, by default, it will show you NAT. Okay. So don't keep it NAT. Go to bridged adapter, where it will create a bridge in between your host, that is Windows, and the Linux, where you can communicate to each other. So Realtek, that is for the Wi-Fi and internet connection, we are creating the bridge adapter through the internet. So we are saying okay. So okay. So once you come here, you have to start your operating system. So once you start, you will get this console. So it is asking me local host login. So what I have kept, so by default, as in Windows, we have administrator who will be having all the authority towards the operating system on its working, on its processing, on its management. Same here in Linux, the root is the administrator. The root user is the super user in the Linux, who will be having access to all over the files of the operating system and all over the commands which we are going to work on the operating system. Other users, they have limited access, and we are going to see it in our upcoming batches in the user and group management. So let us start with your Linux operating system. So here you are with your Linux OS. Okay, so you have logged in here as root at the rate local host. So you are the root user which you have logged in. So let's start with our basic commands. So today you are into the Linux OS and we are going to see the basic commands. Okay, one more point I forgot to tell you. Just a moment. The third thing I didn't told you. The third thing to practice the Linux using browser. So just we'll see this and we'll move to the basic commands. Okay. So coming back to the browser. Coming back to the browser. Sorry for the interruption in between. We'll again carry forward with that. See, ballard.org is there. Ballard.org. See, Linux. This is the online platform where you can practice your commands without any installation. So you can Fedora and Red Hat are same, like you can for startup link, you can click here. So see, this is your panel. Okay, this is your console where you will start your Linux commands. So you can check by your end also. Some issue is there. You can try by your end. It will be enabled. Welcome to Fedora 33. It will be same. It is also the contribution of the Linux only. So see, root at the rate localhost. The same we are getting on the online also. I have not done any installation like we did it in the VM and into the EC2, that is on the cloud platform. So you can check by firing pwd command where we are. Okay, in which directory we are. We are into root directory. So you can say ls, there are no files, there are two files who is already using. It is not secure. You can just practice your commands here because it is globally accessible to everyone. So you can create some of the commands using touch command, that is touch F1, F2. You can create some directories by making mkdir d1, d1, d2. Then you can fire the least commands that are what are available. See, we created the files are viewable and directories are viewable. So hope you clarified with this ballard.org for your online practicing. So coming back to our prior, we have logged in with our root user, correct? So here, to make the connectivity possible in between the Windows and the Linux, we have already installed the Winscp. We have already installed the Winscp, where it is asking you the host name, that is host name of the Linux. So how you will check the IP address of your Linux? So remember this command, if config. Later also we'll get these commands. See, as we enabled the bridged adapter by going into the settings of the VMs to the network, we have enabled the bridge adapter. We have connected our virtual machine with the internet connection, which is available on our desktop, that is the Windows host. So as I have clicked here, as I have fired the if config command, it will show the IP address of the Linux operating system. So coming back to Winscp, see the host name it is asking. Okay, so the host name is 192.168.29.153. So login. So username, what was our username? The username was root. Okay, so the password was, don't forget your password. Whatever password you give, be keep it into a rememberable format. So see, in the left hand panel, you will see the Windows files and all. And in the right hand corner, you will see your Linux operating system. So how we can share? See, now we are coming back to our the panel which are opened parallel, it is correctly viewable to everyone, na? Yes, please keep me in a chat box so that I can uh, start with the next part. Okay, so coming back to our Linux console, here we are to create any file, blank file, or to create any directory. To create a file, we are having a command called cat f3 f4. So we are creating one file, that is f3. We can use touch command here, touch f3. So to create a blank file, there is a command called touch. So we have created one file over here. So to list that file, we have to use ls command. See, the f3 file is viewable over here. So this file is created. So how we can copy this Linux file into the Windows file? Or else we can take this temp file. See, This is the temp file, like KS, we should copy it, or you can drag and drop also, copy to clipboard. And you can come here on the desktop also. See here, C drive it is. You can go to desktop in the left panel. You can you can paste from the clipboard. So it will ask, this should be download, this should be pasted over here. Should say okay. See, so this script file is copied over here. And from Windows to Linux, I can take one of the PPK file, or anyone we can take. Okay, we'll copy this PPK file. Okay, copy to clipboard, and wherever you want, you can paste it. You paste in the temp file, paste from the clipboard. You used to say okay. So see, we have shared our files from Linux to Windows and vice versa. That is from Windows, from Linux to Windows. So this was Winscp. Um, so we are closing this Winscp. Okay. So till now, if anyone of you have any doubt, please raise your hand. Okay, so we are now going to complete our basic commands of the Linux. So to check the present working directory, so in which directory we are, how we can check it is, we have to fire the pwd command. So this is pwd. So we are into the main directory, that is / is the main directory, and we are into the root directory. So here we will create some of the files, but to create a file, as I told you prior, we have to use touch command, touch file test. So to check what all availability is there in this directory, we have to fire the command ls. See, this is in the horizontal format. They have listed all the contents of this root directory. So if we have to see it in the tree structure or into a vertical format, we have to fire the command ls hyphen ltr. So see, here it has mentioned you what permissions that particular file is enabled with which user. So this is in the tree in the vertical format. So next command, we have seen ls hyphen l, that is least with its permission. So least with its ls hyphen l. So we have command all here. We have tree structure also and listing into the vertical format also. So next command is ls hyphen a. Some there are hidden files in Windows also. You'll be seeing there are some of the hidden files. So how we can check the hidden files? So we have to fire the command ls hyphen l, sorry, hyphen a. See that directories of the file which are with the dot, starting with a dot, those are the hidden files. See, there are blue dots, blue three dots. So ls hyphen la. We have added two commands here, listing the file and editing the file. So I have listing the file and showing the hidden files. So see, there are dot bash history, dot bash logout. These are the hidden files. Prior in the ls hyphen l, we were unable to see these files, which were starting with the dot. So for to check the hidden files, we have to fire the command ls hyphen la. So next is ls-r. So nested directories. Okay, so uh, so we'll clear this panel. So how we have to create the file, how we can list the file. So we have seen it. So see, as we have checked where we were into the root directly. So now here we'll create the directories. Okay. So to create a directory, we have to fire the command mkdir. So, okay. And your directory name, that is directory, you can say dir test. How I created that file test. Likewise, I'm creating the directory test. Okay. So how we can go into this directory? To go to this directory, we have to use cd command. So cd, the name of the directory, that is dir test. Okay, so see, root at the rate localhost directory test. We are in dir test folder. So here we will create some of the files by using the touch command. Touch, you can say F1. You can name one file where it creates a one file. If you want to create multiple files, you can give space. F2 will be the second file, F3 will be the third file, and F4 will be the fourth file. A number of files you can create. So we have created the files. So what all files we have created, how we can see by firing the ls command as shown prior. See, we created F1, F2, F3, F4. All these are blank files only which we have created. So how we have to come behind, come to the prior directory from this dir test. So we are into dir test. How to come back to the directory is cd dot com dot. So sorry, cd. This will get back to your main home directory. And by firing the command cd dot dot, it will get to your uh, okay, forget it. Just remember the cd. I'll get back with the coming back to single one by one directory. Okay. So we were into the root at the rate localhost where we created our directory, and we went into that directory, and into that directory we created the files, that is F1, F2, F3, F4, and after that we listed it, and we are back again to our home directory, that is root home directory. So here if we fire ls-ltr, see, you will see the directory, which directories are usually, it is in the blue colors. So dir test, in which we had been there. So in that we had 4 files. So the next commands, we can say it as ls to see the file whose length is of 3 characters. Okay, so we'll create one of the file with 3 characters like touch L. So see, fill, or we can say Tom. So ls, so 3 question marks, it will list you the file name that was of Tom. See, now as we are practicing, there are no files, but when you will be working on your being an user or an employee, that time you will be having a number of files and a number of directories. So sorting out what we want, so we have to use this command, that is ls question marks. So after coming back to the basics, to see the file that starts with a single character and ends. Okay, the single character means there might be numbers also into our file name. So how we have to check is ls question mark edh start. So you can check by your end also. How to create a file. So touch was the one thing where we can create the file through that command. The another command we are going to see here is cat. cat command. So by using the cat command also you can create the directory. So we can say it as cat greater than sign file, you can say file 1. See, it will show you what content you should add on it. So I can say hello, welcome to Logic Labs Technologies. So you can okay. So you have typed this. That is into the file 1 by using the cat command. That is hello, welcome to Logic Labs Technologies. So how you can view this content? To view the content from file 1, you have to file the command cat itself. But don't put the greater than sign. You can directly give the file name, which content you want to see. See, here you can see when I fired the command cat file 1, you can see hello and welcome to Logic Labs text, which I had created that file in the prior command. So this was the cat command. Next, to append a file, I'll show you this appending in the letter. We'll go with the basics. So as we have seen, to create a file using the touch command, we have created the single directory. Like we used to create the multiple files, we use the touch command by naming the files by giving space in between them. We created 4 files. Likewise, to create the multiple directories, you have to fire the command mkdir with the name of files one by one after giving a single space in between them. Okay, so we'll create multiple directories now. So see mkdir. So dir1, dir2, dir3, dir4. So here we created, so you can ls it. ls-ltr you can use, which will be easily into readable format. See, here you can see directory 1, directory 2, directory 3, and directory 4. So who was the user for it? I have logged in as a root user. So this is the root user who had created this directory and its permissions. By default, Linux gives by default their permission set to the user once you're logged in. So that upcoming sessions you're going to be learned in the permissions. So remember this. So here we have created the files using the touch command, cat command, and by using the cat command, by using the greater than symbol, how we can add content, whatever we want to write into a file that we have done, and how to view the file content. We have to use the kite and cat command with its file name. And for creating the directory, we have seen mkdir. For creation of the n number of files, we can use the same command, that is mkdir, with n number of names of the directories by a single space in between them. So next. So see the nested tree structure of the directory. So nested I have not created. I'll show you the nested, what it means. So see, we have created dir1 also. So we'll go into that dir1. cd-dir1. We are into the dir1 directory. See, root @localhost, into which directory we are? dir1. So here we'll create create one more directory, that is mkdir tree test, tree structure test, you can say. Okay, so we have created one more, so we can make ls. So this is the one more we can make we'll go into this, that is cddir tree structure test. So we are here. So there also we can create some directory by making mkdir d3, you can say. Okay, so we'll come back again. So how we can view the To see the nested tree structure, we are going to use the command ls-r d1. So ls-r, see the hyphen r is capital R D1. So we have to mention here directory name. So which was our first directory? It was dir1. See, we are into the tree structure format viewable. See, in dir1 there is a directory dir1 tree structure test, and in this dir tree structure test there is d3, and in d1 dir tree structure test, in that we are having d3. So this was all about basic commands, like how we can create the file directory. So to enter into the directory, we have used the cd command. Okay, so we have seen the creation of the files and the directory. So there is a need to remove also those files and directories. So how you can remove this, remove the files? So coming back to our Linux console, see, I'll see which all files are available, like ls-ltr. See, there are f1, f2, which are in white color. Those are all files. So f1, f2, f3 file test. So one of them I'll remove, that rma command is used to remove the files. So that is deletion of the file. So rm and name of the file. So the name of the file, we'll give it as file test. Remove regular empty file. Yes. See, now we'll make ls-ltr. See, you cannot see the, just a moment. Remove file test. No such file. ls-ltr. So rm and the name of the file, that is f1. Remove regular empty file. So you have to say yes. So we have to make ls-ltr. See, you cannot see here f1 is viewable. After the removing the file, it is not listing. The file f1 is not listing over here. So clear command is used to clear your command CLI mode. So to remove the directory, there's a command. To remove the empty directories, there is a command rmdir and the directory name. How we use rm and the file name? Same wise, remove directory, that is rmdir and the name of the directory. So first we'll check which all directories are available. See, there is dir1, dir2, dir3, dir4. So we'll remove dir4. So rmdir. So dir4, name of the directory. So we'll again fire the command ls-ltr. See, we cannot see the directory 4 over here. We have removed that directory. Coming back to the next command, to remove the directory. See, we have created the directory which contains the files. So we'll check which directory contains the files. That is cd dir1. That is the nested directory. We'll come back. We'll go to dir2. We'll create some of the files over there. Touch f1, f2. Okay, so files are there. So coming back. So see, if you want to delete the directory, okay, just a moment. See, if we want to remove the directory which contains the files in it, so how you can delete it? We have to use the command RM, that is force, recursive force removal, that is R and F. So RM hyphen RF, that is recursive forcefully delete dir2, which already contains the files. So again we are making ls hyphen ltr. See, we cannot see the directory 2 over here, which already contain the files. If we see going into dir3, making ls, there is no any file into the dir. We'll create some of the file, touch F1, XYZ, whatever it might be, and coming back, and if we use only rmdir dir3, it will not permit you to remove that directory. Why? Because it contains the files. It is more secure. It will show you the error that we cannot delete this directory. So to forcefully delete, we can use rm hyphen rf, the name of the directory. See, the first I used only rmdir, it didn't permitted us to delete, and when I used recursive forcefully delete, it deleted the files. We can again check ls hyphen ltr. See, we cannot see D2 also and D3 also, which contain the files. We forcefully deleted the entire content of the directory. So how next we are coming to copy the files. How we can copy? See, to copy the file. See, if console, we are having F1, we can say cat F1. So we'll say that testing of file. Okay. So by control Q, you can quit with that command, come out of it. Control C, by pressing control C, you will come out of that editing of the file. So to view the file, cat F1. Okay, so testing of a file, and we'll create one more file, cat F2. Cat F2, greater than sign cat F2. We can say it as, we can say anything, XYZ, we can say hello. Okay, we have created two files. The file 1 contains testing of file content and F2 has hello. So what we have to copy the old file into the new file. So we have this old file, that is F1, and we have to copy this content from F1 to the new file which we created, that to the F2. Okay, so the command is cp old file name to the new file name. So which was our old file here, F1, and copy the file content to the new file, that is F2. Overwrite F2, say yes, why? Okay, so again you can say cat F2. See, it has overwritten. So prior, so look into this. It has overwritten. What it has done is, the content of the F1, that is testing of a file, is overwritten on F2. The content of the F2 was hello, but it removed hello and it wrote only testing of the file. See, cat F2 is showing only testing of the file, which is its content. So how we can avoid this? See, we have created a new file and we have to copy some of the contents from our old file. So for that we have to use cat double greater than sign file name, that is we call it as to append a file. We have to keep the content of the file 1 also and the 2 also. To append a file, that is we'll keep here the content of the F1 also and F2 also, which was newly created. So we'll try and we'll create one more file, that is cat file 3 and say XYZ and type hello. I have typed 3 of the 4 lines I have typed in this cat file. So we are creating one more new file, or you can say cat F2. So cat F2 was our old file. What was there into testing of a file? So now we have to copy the content of F2 into our newly created file, that is F3. So you have to use the cat command double greater than sign, that is to append the old file name, that is file, that is F2 was our old file and newly created was our file 3. So now you can see cat file 3. See, you can see all the content over here. The hello is also included over here into the cat file. So the appending is done. So the first file content is also added and the prior file content will remain as it is. So what all commands we completed? To see the type of a file. Yeah. Sorry. So how we copied the old file into a new file. To move the directories and the files. To move, we have to use the mv command. So here the panel. ls-ltr. See, we have to move. So see, in dir1 we'll check what is there into dir1, or we'll create a new directory, dir4. Okay. Sorry, mkdir is the command to create the new directory. So we have created the new directory. We are switching to that directory, that is cd space dir4. Okay, so we are into this directory. We have creating the touch command, creating some files f1, f2, f3. Okay, so ls. So these files are created. We are coming back to our home directory. So see, we are creating one more directory over here, mkdir 5, which is newly created. So there are also some files that touch f5, f6, f7. Okay, so in dir5 there are f5, f6, f7, and in dir4 there are f1, f2, f3 files. So I have to move the directory contents to dir5. So how you can use the mv command, move dir4 to dir5. So here you can go to cd dir5. So you can make ls. You can say ls hyphen mtr. mtr dir4. Just a moment, we have fired the command ls-ltr into dir5 directory. So move dir4 to dir5. So see, the directory itself has moved to the directory 5. dir4 is moved to dir5. Okay. To move the files from dir4 to directory 5, we have to use the move command. So first we have to go to this directory dir4. ls-ltr. Directory 4 is not available. It has moved to directory 5. See, in the local host, that is into the home directory, from home directory we have moved our directory to d5, directory 5. So going to dir5, you can see here, see our directory over here, that is directory 4. CDIR4 is here. So moving of the directories. Now we'll see the moving of the files, how we can move the files. So cd dir5. Again we are going to cd dir4. or we'll create some files here only. Touch F1, F2, F1. So we have to move this file to directory 4. So we have to use the command move F1 to dir 4. Oh, right. Yes. So ls. See, into directory. So into dir 4. Yes. So see, we have moved our F1, F2 file into dir 4. Okay, so coming back, we have seen how to copy the file, how to move the file from directory, how to remove it, how to remove the file, how to remove the directory, and all. To see the type of a file. So which type of a file we are having, we can find the command file star. So file file space. Okay, so see, D1, it is when we fire the command file space star, it will show which of the directories are then, which are the text files. See, D1, D2, D1, D2, these are the directories, and F1, F2, they are ASCII text files. So there are types of files in, how we have types of files in Windows, likewise in Linux also we have types of files. So by default, they have given ISCII text, and they have shown the empty files also. See, F3, F5, F6, F7 are the empty files, and Tom is also empty file, and file test is also empty. And we have written something in file 1 and file 3, so it is showing into the text format. Coming to the next command, to view the date, you have to fire the date command to see the content screen wise. Okay, I'll show you this less command. Further also we are going to cover the less and more command also. So coming back to the panel, clear the panel. So date, we'll see the date. So see, Wednesday, August 30th, 8:54 the timing is with the IST, and the year 2023. This will show you the time. Likewise, there is a cal commander to see the calendar. There is a man command to see the manual. So see, what manual page do you want to see? So see, man, as I'm coming back with the chat. See, Cyril asked me, please, what is the definition of LSLTR, you asked. So here you can go to the manual listing of the files. See, what is the definition means listing of the file. LS, that is listing. What all lists are available into that particular directory, it will view. And hyphen L means list with extra information. If we fire only ls command, it will show you the contents, and if we'll fire hyphen L, it will list the who the user has created this and what all permissions are there to that particular file and directory. Hope you have clarified with your question, Cyril. And even you can use the man command, Cyril. So using man, just a moment, man ls. So this is the manual of your ls command. See, least. So what is ls? Ls is the least directory contents. So whatever contents are there into directory, it will be listed by using the ls command. So syntax, you can see ls option and the name of the file. See, I only fired her ls command, but if you want to ls command, then the name of the file or the directory to see the contents. And see, hyphen a, as if I showed that hyphen a is useful for hidden files. Hyphen l, see, all the options are available to you on this manual page. You can check by your end, and you can make trial errors also by using these options from your end, which are mandatory, which are useful in the industrial sector. I have showed you. There are n number of options. You can check with these all, Cyril. Any of the commands. See, we'll quit this manual page. So man MKDIR. So what is MKDIR? That is the making of the directories, that is creation of the directories. So the parent directory, var, bros, z, these all will be the options available. So how we'll move on to our next topics, we'll be covering all these also. Okay, these also means how we'll be going further, we'll be creating users or say file permissions or managing in this, you will be covering all these topics, all these options also, because I cannot explain each and every option. It will take a very long duration with each and every topic where each and every option will be explained to you. So we have seen the man command, that is manual to that particular command, where you will get the details of that command and the options of the command with its description. Uh, yes. Mm, yes, Cyril, please. I have unmuted you.
Yes, thank you. So I appreciate that. That was really clear, and I'm happy. I know I wasn't look only for the R and the list because you list the file the long because they say list hyphen LTR is long time stand, but what is R? The R at the end, that's
Uh,
what I didn't know. Yeah.
See, if we fire only the command ls hyphen l, okay, so it'll show into the horizontal format. We have to see it in a tree structure format. So we are firing the command ls hyphen ltr, which will show it in a vertical format, which will be easier for to you to read it. Okay.
Oh,
See,
okay.
now we are, this OS is new for us. We have not created the files. Whatever trial and errors we did it, those only files are there. But when you will be working as an employee, you will be having n number of files in it. Okay. Which will be hand over to you by your administrator or whatever it might be. So how you will manage those files and directories, correct? So these are the steps which you have to follow to go to that particular or to sort out the directory or the file. See, in Linux, everything is dependable on the file only. Okay. So
Yeah,
each and every, yes, these are the main things. That is, ls is the main command, creation of the file, deletion of the file, creation of the directory, deletion of the directory, how to we can switch to that particular directory, how we can copy from file 1 to file 2. Only copying is not mandated. To keeping the contents of the new file also, we have to copy the old file. We have used the append command, which are very important. I have covered all these things. So I have cleared all this. If you have any doubts, you can ask.
no, I'm okay. I'm okay. I understand everything you are saying. I'm okay with, and I know that in the future we are going to have to give permission to a file, all this kind of thing. I'm good with. So
Yes,
the only,
yes.
yeah, that my only concern was that I know that what is LS and what is LT, long list and time span, but now the R, soon you say that was to list that vertically. Okay, that's what only what I need to know. Thank you very much.
Okay, Cyril, thank you. So,
Um,
if anyone has queries, you please ask. We are ending up with the session. It is already 9, and we have covered all the basic commands, which are very much important. And you just go through the PPT. It will be uploaded to you, to the paid participants. So one more thing I would like to tell, that 2 more extra sessions we have kept it for free. That is day 4 session and day 5 session. So tomorrow you just attend the day 4 session. It will be logged in at 8 a.m. in the morning. So, okay, hope none of them are having any of the queries. So we are ending up with our session. So good day to everyone. Thank you. Thank you very much.